is doing well. Please,
Cool,
guys, when you
cool.
come in, please make sure you hit that
Good,
like button. Please make sure you
good.
hit that subscribe button. And please make sure you hit that notification bell on the right hand side. Remember, we do go live each and every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 o'clock Eastern Time. Thank you for tuning in to KI Culture Radio. Hakeem and Jordan, what's popping like what's cracking? What is going on?
Chilling, chilling.
I'm good. I'm good. How you feeling? How y'all feeling?
Feeling great.
Yeah, go ahead, Jordan, do your thing.
All right. Give me 1 second. So what's going on, folks? What's going on, folks? How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? Thanks for y'all coming in the chat. We about to get it rolling. Got to get it rolling. So the topic today, we kind of did like a little bit. We did last year with B and Hakeem, but I think we're gonna really get deep dive in it and also have Ronnie's perspective on it as well. And and the topic is it's like it's a lot of black men losing faith of Dr. Umar. So y'all know, Dr. Umar last week he went on about it was pre-recorded that he went on, Daily Rep Club. Shout out to them. Make sure you subscribe to their channel. And then like I said, and the big cause of that was that he made a topic, like I said, how black men need to do better, and 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 it got kind of black men got a little bit of outrage at what he talked about of how black men, how we're the responsibles of the pookies and rares out there, and it's our fault that black women are kind of single in a way, and we need to do better. And with that statement, we're gonna play the original clip. We're gonna play, and then we're gonna play how other black men react. There, we also gonna play. Then after that, we're gonna react to it. But yeah, but since he made that statement about it's, as black men, it's our fault that our black women are single and they choose it and everything. Really rather some of black men saying like, "Yo, what did you talking about?" Why is always our fault in that situation? Because it should be like a 50-50 line instead of blaming us for the situation of if a woman got pregnant, a child out of wedlock by a man and he didn't want to be there and not really vetting that man. And a lot of black men is, really it's like say, yo, what's going on and everything, And I think a lot of people, a lot of black men is starting to lose a little bit of faith of Dr. Umar. And a lot of black men are speaking up about it too. It's like, yo, you're not the voice of black man, of black men, because it seems like he's kind of being a panderer to the women, but not being 50-50. Say, hey, black men are doing this, but it's all their fault. But to me, there's a thin line. It's a thin line of who is responsible and hold accountability. But it seems like Dr. Umar is not putting accountability of the black woman. He just putting all of us as black men not being accountable. So we definitely gonna roll with it. It's definitely we definitely gonna be rolling with it today. We definitely gonna talk about it. Chat. If y'all want to speak about it, black men in the chat, speak about how y'all feel about Dr. Umar. We're gonna play a couple. We're gonna play an original video that what Dr. Umar says about how black men are fought about the black woman, and then we also gonna play the reactions of 3 black men responding to that Dr. Umar video. So go ahead, Hakeem.
Telling you black men are responsible for her being masculine because we have not helped her raise them children.
I am
and
not.
when I say help them raise them children, I don't mean you as the stepdad.
No, yeah,
I mean you as an active member in the
Definitely.
community. She got masculine because she had to become masculine in order to deal with the rape, the abuse, the domestic violence, the disappointments that men had in her life, and also raising those kids and have to take care of herself all at the same time. The black woman has been the be all in all in our community for half of a century. And now we want to turn around and say because she didn't do it perfectly enough or remain feminine enough when she had to absorb our responsibilities plus her own, that's insensitive and disingenuous.
And that other communities do not do what first start off, and stop saying that other communities do not do what she's saying they do. I can give you one name that made Kevin Samuels look like a preacher kid that another man of another race do to the women in their race. So we need to get off this notion of, oh, the other races don't do it. It's easy to say that the music is loud when you live in the house. Basically what that means is it's easy to say that that's all black men do when you're in that community, when you're not doing the research to see outside of the community. If we're going to do that, you need to have the good faith enough to do the research in order to see it. Okay, I'm going to say that. And I'm also going to say this, that I don't want to call Umar hypocritical, but he's hypocritical. I mean, look at the situation he's in. We're not going to go into depths into that. But I am going to say this. I do agree with Noble when it comes to this, that you cannot lay this at every black man's feet that decides to do something. A lot of people look at it, and I'll go with Noble's example of LeBron James. Let's throw out what he does on the court. Let's throw out that he was a high school, middle school phenom. We're talking about his character as a man. He's a great father, a damn good father. He's a damn good husband. He's all that. Those characteristics was not made with money. Those characteristics not made with fame. Those characteristics was due to his foundation. His foundation. And if anybody look at his documentary or look at anything that he talks about, him and his mama say, hey, the first thing that she did, since she knew that she was a single mother, that she got him around productive men of society. Great, that's perfect. And this is what I question our community. Are our women doing that? Are single mothers doing that? I will argue no, because you can't sit here and get mad at the Pookies and the Ray Rays and say, oh man, I'm tired of these men only in the community because black men are not calling them out. We cannot hold black men accountable that black women reward. Noble, and if you don't mind, I'm gonna use that as an example. Say like if Noble's being a Pookie and a Ray Ray, and I say, hey Noble, bro, these women don't like you just screwing them and not taking them out, not getting to know them. They don't like that. And then the next day he pulls up with another woman. And the next day he pulls up with another woman. That looks batshit stupid on my behalf to tell him that women don't want that when they're giving them access to him. And that's what they want. But we need to What we need to understand what's happening right now. What we need to understand what's happening right now is a shift. And I guarantee you may not see the shift now, but you're gonna see it in the next few years. Black men are pulling themselves up. I don't care how you say it, as a whole. I'm not talking about all of us, but as a majority, black men are pulling ourselves up.
See, even though I recognize what you were attempting to do, it's still of very little consequence to me. I'm not threatened by it. At this point, I come to invite and anticipate women like you throwing their bullshit, just trying to see what sticks to the wall. And to your dismay, not much. You say you would love to see Dr. Umar's response to this reckless behavior of mine. Yeah, I bet you would. You ladies seem to have a preference to listen to men who pander to you and kiss your asses and tell you that everything is always the man's fault, that nothing is ever your fault. I anticipate that. If anything, it's kind of par for the course. It's why so many of you still continue on your failed, dysfunctional thought processes that gets you habitually the opposite results of what you say you actually want. Men like Umar, who has bastards of his own that he should be focusing his attention on, will sit up here and try to criticize the men that you choose to give more bastards to. He will happily go on and on about the failings of black men not being in the homes that your predecessors said that they did not need and did not necessarily want. These women made choices generations ago that are now adversely affecting young women like you, and instead of recognizing that and taking a more proactive approach to this and being better women, you're mad because the men who are better men don't want to engage substandard women? Make it make sense. You know what? Better yet, don't make it make sense. These men don't need you to make it make sense. You are not a benefit to these men. These men are going to go their own separate way and leave you ladies to your own devices to demonstrate, to prove all that independence, all that equality that you keep telling us that you have. There is no greater way that a man can show his respect to a woman
than non-interference. These men have no intention of interfering or otherwise impeding your demonstration of your equality, your supremacy, your superiority. We're going to let you prove all of those things. But you can't get mad at us because you fail at demonstrating what you claim to be, who and what you claim to be. That's not on us. That's on you because we respect you. We respect your right to choose your body, your womb, your choice. Good luck and Godspeed.
If the problem, like Dr. Umar said, is the black boys, then
Shout out to this creator. I follow her. You should follow her. I think she has a lot of insightful things to say. I will say in this instance, I am very concerned with the effect that Dr. Umar is having on our community. I think it's kind of dangerous that Dr. Umar seems to overly blame black men for every problem facing the black community and overly vilifies black men when he himself does not set any example of the stuff that he says we should strive for. The man's got 2 baby mamas. I got 2 baby mamas. He hasn't married either of them. I didn't marry either of them. But he goes around vilifying black men all day for having kids and not getting married. And I don't vilify black men for having kids and not getting married. I will say that I don't advise doing it. And I regret having children out of wedlock. But I love my kids. And you do the best with what you have. And you try to be the best co-parent you can. And that's what you do. Now, back to the Dr. Umar problem. Overly vilifying black men. He says black men aren't leaders. Black men aren't stepping up as parents. Black men aren't being the leaders in the community. Well, leadership requires cooperation. So if you want black men to lead, which I think is kind of silly, I think an egalitarian approach is better. I think women can be great leaders too. Men can be great leaders. Your gender doesn't really dictate whether or not you can lead. But if you want leadership, be it men or women, you need cooperation from the people who are going to be led. You need cooperation. I never hear Dr. Umar preach cooperation. I just hear him preach division. Brothers against sisters. Brothers are bad. Brothers are awful. Black men are awful. Sisters, you guys are great. Everything you're doing is great. Everything bad that happens to you is black men's fault. How is that ever gonna foster cooperation? It's not, because he doesn't want it. So this creator is specifically talking about the absence of black men in their kids' life, or them not having enough influence on young black boys being raised, and how black women raising black boys is not very good. So I'm here to offer a solution. We can start an organization. There's already 501c3s in every city, but we should start a fund to pay for the legal fees for single mothers to go to court and try to increase the father of their kids' parenting time. Increase parenting time. File for shared custody. File to give custody of the child to the father so that the father has more time to parent the kid. And of course, filing for that costs money, which is why I say we as a community collectively should raise money to pay for those legal fees. Women shouldn't have to go pay $500 to file in order to do this. We should encourage it as a community. Now, I wonder why Dr. Umar isn't saying do that.
As you can see, y'all, there was a few black men that had a really good reaction about what Dr. Umar said. Last week, me and Hakeem, we talked a little bit of what we had to say, but we definitely gonna be in depth. And now we're gonna have Ronnie. We talked about it last week, but Ronnie, he's gonna give his opinion about it as well. Go ahead. You know, say I'm sorry, Hakeem. You on mute. You on mute.
Shout outs to Sugar Bum. How you doing today, Queen? Shout outs to you. Thank you for the hello. Shout outs to Barry White. Shout outs to Barry White for keeping the lights on. Go on.
Yes, let's go. Yeah, so we definitely gonna get into the topic. Definitely want to hear from Ronnie's opinion because he was on vacation last week. So definitely gonna get Ronnie's opinion about it, or what happened, what Dr. Umar says. So I'm gonna pass it to you guys. We gonna get Ronnie's opinion, but it's black men losing faith on Dr. Umar. Go ahead, Ronnie.
No, one of the issue is I saw a small clip last week from Dr. Umar Johnson, and I always kept saying that over and over and over again. Some of the issues that transpire within the community is the man's fault. And I always been saying that because at the end of the day, we're supposed to be the pioneer within the community. Now you have someone like Umar Johnson who was well educated, who's very indoctrinated, and when it comes to the data, statistics, and also his quote unquote point of view, he always stated that we are the pioneers. So if the man failed, the community failed. So the situation that transpired, what's happening within the community, you have to hold the man accountable for it. So especially the black men. See, black men today are taken away from the accountability part because they want to quote unquote don't want to have that issue that we are not the one in charge. But like I said, at the end of the day, we have to learn as men that it is our responsibility to uplift, to change things within the community. That's my take on that. Now, of course, the topic is today is are black men giving up on Umar Johnson? And the answer is yes, because the simple fact they see that sometimes he's wishy-washy. He say one thing, but then he do another. But we're going to go more in depth in that. So go ahead, Akeem, on your thought.
Brothers, I want to thank you for allowing me to speak. Now, I want to try to be brief about this. I've been a very big supporter of him. We was in the midst of trying to get him on this show. The thing that I don't think he understands this, and what a lot of people don't understand, when you keep pointing finger to a group of people, what you think they're going to do? They're going to disassociate themselves from the group. As long as I've known and understand this, black men has been blamed for everything. I'm not saying we should not take the blame for certain things, but not for everything. There's a cause and effect to everything, and it takes more than one cooperators to have an issue. The problem is we are held to such a high standard of being a man that other races don't. White men cheat. White men make white women single mothers. White men invented passport bros. We just got along for the ride. We ain't had nothing to do. We wasn't prior before going to the Philippines. It was nothing but people from Australia and the UK there. You know what I mean? We got involved in an army and became passport bro. But before that, we had no concern for these things. Now, here's the thing. As much as we're going to keep blaming us and nobody else taking that, and it goes to say that our women are so holy and endowed that they cannot do nothing wrong. We're at fault. So if we're at fault, and I'm not deflecting, if we're at fault, and she didn't, you didn't hear what I said earlier, Sugar Bum. We should take partial responsibility. But if we're at fault, that means that just allow the person who wants to leave y'all alone and let us go our own way. Go ahead.
I'm gonna answer the questions. Question first, and I'm at it's a lot of black men losing faith up with Dr. Umar, and yes, I really believe so. Going back to 2010, when I first visited Dr. Umar, he helped me out a lot, as in, being conscious in our community, what are we good at, what are we failing at, what we definitely need to improve on, especially, as black men, that really put me in context, like, okay, there's some stuff that, I've seen in my life or that happened in my life that kind of went bad or not go well, situations with like maybe my father, and, that, stuff that he didn't do that I expect him to do. But the thing is, it's like, I'll just say this, when Dr. Umar pointed the finger at black men all the time, to me, it's like, when you keep pointing and pointing, like what Hakeem says, you're going to lose us. And the thing is about it, I'm just put a situation with my father. Even though my father wasn't great in my life, I never shamed that man, or never kept pointing the finger and said, hey, you could have did this better, you could have do this better, you could have did that better. Because if I would have kept doing that, what would that go to? That would put, my father in a lower, type of position. And I'm not a type of person who will point a finger at any black man. I would try to find a way to improve that black man, or ask him advice or anything, to try to help that black man. I'll give him options of what needs to be done. And for Dr. Umar, I'm seeing in the last year or so, I'll keep pointing like, black man, if you're still not doing this, the woman will keep saying this, you're not doing this, you're not doing that, you're not doing this. And my thing is, now I'm looking at Dr. Umar, I say, Dr. Umar, what you doing? You have 2 kids out of wedlock with two different baby mamas, but you're not married. You're saying this is the problem, but I'm looking at you and you're not doing that. You're not married. You're not doing what the black woman says is a problem. You just it's like you're a messenger. You just telling the messages from a woman and tell it to the man that. But what? And my thing is, I'm looking at you. It's like, but what are you doing, Dr. Umar? You're not married. It's just like the messenger. And what you really looking like is, like I said, it's like, how black man is kind of starting to lose faith. It's like, it's like, Dr. Umar, to me, it's like, I kind of look him as a leader of men at the time, at the early young age of 20. Now it's like, Dr. Umar, you're saying all that, you keep pointing fingers, but you're not trying to find a solution or try to build a solution. It's just like, it's always the man's fault, this and that, which I get. Some of the stuff that we have out for our fault is the man's fault, sure. But the thing is, it's like, what are you doing? Try to bridge that gap to try to fix that problem and try to get, black man and black women together to have long-term relationships and also be long-term marriages. And also trying to find women that are single mothers who has 2 or 3 or 4 baby mothers. What are they doing to try to, go to therapy and get fixed up so they can be ready to get with a black man that that's not their baby's fathers, that it just kind of hurts me to see what I just don't like how Dr. Umar, he's where he's going on this like a different route. I don't like where he's going. It's like, to me, this is not his lane of relationship. This is not his lane. I just feel like he's trying to be like a Kevin Samuels in a way, or I'm looking at right now. It's like how the route he's going to. He sounds like he's going to like in the Derrick Jackson road. I mean by saying just really, listening to the black woman and panning to the black woman and really pointing out, what the black man has fought at. And I'm kind of looking at that. It's like, even though we have our faults, there's some things that we are doing that in the black community as a black man. As I say in the previous episodes, out of all the races who are in their children's lives, black men is at the top tier of all the races in America. And I don't know if Dr. Umar, like I said it from my last episode we did, I don't know if he skipped that and not really looking at that. Black men are making small improvements of that, of being in their kids' lives. And I think we really need to push that there. And we talked about it with the Oprah Winfrey episode a couple weeks ago as well, of the black man who is stepping up, of being in children's lives, is trying to step up and everything. And also, in the rise of this, having the voices, black men having the voices of talking about our problems that we have with each other, and also we have problems with, in a relationship with a black woman. We talk about our problems, and now we talk about, what type of preference we want in our black woman. And I think all black men, if they have a certain type of preference they want for their black woman, they should have that preference of what they want. Either they want a woman that has no children, or children that's that has a woman that has multiple kids. There's some black men that wants it, and there's some black men who does want it, and there's a black man who doesn't want that. So to me, if a black man has a preference of what type of black woman that he wants, he should be crushed for that. He should be crushed on a black man to have preferences. And also, if a black man makes a mistake of he got a woman pregnant, child of work and anything, and it kind of didn't go, and it's not working, it's not going well, maybe that black man needs help with something. Maybe he needs a therapy that he needs. Maybe he needs a mentor so he can teach him how to be a man, because there's a lot of black men who doesn't have a father in their life. and they kind of don't know what to do. And sometimes they get pushed out of the push in their world, and they really don't know what to do. You know, they really try to learn themselves. You know, nobody taught them, you know, how to be a man. You know how, you know, to, you know, if you got a woman, how to take care of your woman, how you treat your woman, how you treat your, you know, if you have a wife, how you treat your wife. And to me, I think if Dr. Umar want to talk about this stuff like that, learn how to bridge a gap of how to get black men and black women together, instead of always pointing your fingers at the black man all the time. That's about the take I got for right now. Go ahead, fellas.
No, go ahead. I can't think you was going to read comments. Go ahead.
You're on mute, Hakeem. Oh, go ahead.
Hakeem, you're muted. You
Oh
mute.
yeah. And I wanted to go back to the comment. Ish, where you been? Ish, thank you. We're happy to have you back, Queen. Shout outs to Sherry Bryant. Shout outs to Motivation Vision. Ken Dog, I miss you. Where have you been? Shout outs to you. Shout outs to Harris Tribe Media. I love you, my brother. Good work you've been putting in. Good work you've been putting in. And you look very young for your age. I watched the live stream you did with that good brother you did the other day. So I want to try to go this real quick, because Ish had some good points. Sherry Bryan has some good points. I didn't get that from the interview that Umar felt everything that has to be in black community as the men folk. I want to answer to that. The generation is so dysfunctional. How can anyone even lead? Especially when so many won't listen and you can't comprehend. Queen, you on to something. It said, what I got was, as a leader, the blame would fall on you. It's no different when a person takes on a managerial position. It goes wrong, even though it will not have been your mistake. That is a fact. We're going to get into that, and I'm going to try to be quick. I'm not going to forget Sugar Bum. Let me be a real black man, or out
of order.
Oh my God. Black men are making fatherless homes all across America, and now the younger women don't want children. We're going to answer that question, Sugar Bum, because you can't blame us 100%. Shout outs to the Queen,
Natasha
Vincent, with Montreal with love. Hold on. Black men have abused women for Don King women don't trust them. This is the black man's problem. You're out of order and you aren't trustworthy. No problem. Motivation Vision. Sugar Bum, we've just learned the words hurt men. So the black man called him a P. So now he don't want to be a daddy anymore because she disrespected him. Black men are not coming to the defense of women. Now we are who we are. I've been MIA. Okay. Now we're gonna get into the It's so many black men have been abused women for so long. Women don't trust them to lead anything. Okay.
Good point.
Yeah, I want to say this. Sugar Boy is 100% right. I said of this. Black men are not doing this. Niggas are doing this. There should be a thin line of what black men are and what niggas are. Everything Sugar Bum just says, that's what niggas are doing. Mm-hmm. Niggas are doing this. Pookies and Ray Rays are doing that type of stuff. And that should be a thin line right there of what black men are doing and niggas and Pookies and Ray Rays are doing. I'm not saying Sugar Bum is wrong, but what she just said, that's what the niggas and Pookies and Ray Rays are doing. I'm just saying it right there. Because when I see black men that do what they needs to be done, and the black men I surround myself, they are doing what it needs to be done. They trying to elevate themselves. They trying to be in their children's lives. They trying to, be there, trying to be the best person they can be for themselves or for their kids and for their family. And that's, to me,
I think Sugar looking from the point when it comes to the data and the statistics. The data and the statistics show that black men now has become lazy. Remember, mind you, when it came to the United States dollar, black men at one point was striving over the Hispanics. Now, right now, the Hispanics are leading ahead when it comes to the financial area. So what does that tell you? Black men not taking a lot of leadership roles, and not a lot of leadership opportunities because we have pretty much fall back and depend everything on the woman. That's why I say I understand where Umar was coming from when he said, "Hey, it's you, man, that's the problem, and not the woman." You see my drip, Jordan? But go ahead.
I see your trip, but what I'm hearing, that's what niggas are doing. The niggas are not doing. The niggas are not stepping. The niggas they're not taking the necessary step. They're not taking the leadership roles. They just staring there. They're being lazy and doing what needs to be doing. He said,
No, but
black
prime
men are
example, Jordan.
no,
But
they
Jordan,
no,
if you
no,
look
they
at the
not
prime
sugar.
example right now,
No,
think
they
about
not
it. Look at the
sugar.
prime example what's going on right now. Are black
Mm-hmm.
men are trying to get married? No. Are black
That's
men
it.
staying in a stable relationship? No.
But
Niggas and black men are doing the same thing. Go ahead.
I'm not. You're not wrong about that. But like I said that just as black men not getting married, I can name other races are not getting married as well in the United States of America. That's why they're moving out and being passport bros, or going to South America, or I mean South America, or going to the Asians to um Thailand, or the Philippines. Like I said, we had Young Chicano on here. You know, to me, I grew up with him. He's a wonderful black man. But but what I'm trying to say is there's sometimes, and we went certain areas, and you're trying to find a quality black woman, and it's not up to par what you're trying to look at. Especially me living in Pontiac, I had, like I said, the quality women I lived in Pontiac, I had to move out and look for and move out and look for other quality, because if I was going to stay in Michigan, I was going to be with a white chick or a Hispanic woman. So what I'm trying to say is there are stats that we definitely need improvement on as black men. But sugar bomb, there's a difference when you with a black man, and there's a difference with niggas and cookies and ray rays. Because I don't associate with niggas and pookies and ray rays. I associate with black men who's on a purpose, who trying to do what they need to do in life. Either they're older than me or they're younger than me. And to me, there are, like I said, there are some details that we need to do. There's a lot of work we can do as black leaders. Absolutely, I'm not saying that we definitely, like I said, we definitely need to improve some other things. But what I'm trying to say is that I think we're on the right path. I think, as men, we have these spaces to talk about our problems, and and try to figure out what we need to do to improve as leaders. As us, as Chaos Coach Raider, that's what we're trying to do. We put out the facts. We talk about what we're doing wrong in our community, and and also giving the facts of what we could do better to be the best version of ourselves. And also, if you want to get married in your 30s and 40s, learn how, the certain steps you need to take to get that. And to me, it's what Dr. Umar is saying. To me, it's too much pointing fingers, and he's not really putting in that gap of what a black man. Here's are the steps to be successful. And also, there's other podcasts that are not happening either. I feel like a lot of black men, they turn to these red pill spaces, and to me, it's kind of pushing them back. Making them, being, incels, and also being over so aggressively. And I feel like, for men who wants to get married, who has a long-term relationship, I feel like more podcasts like us and other podcasts, to teach our black men, hey, this is what you need to do to be a leader in your household. This is what you need to do to be better, a better father for your kids. This is what you need to do to, to have a healthy relationship for yourself, and a healthy relationship for your family, for your kids, and your wife as well.
Okay, but here's the thing. You made a lot of great points, but this is my thing. And Barry White, shout out to Happy. She made a good statement. She said a man don't have to be married to take care of responsibility. The only reason why I mentioned the aspect of marriage is because black men especially are not getting married on a higher rate than other races do. You can just look at the data. Yeah, even though there is a rise of the passport road, yeah, white men are still getting married, Hispanic men are still married, and Asian men, we could go on, and even the Jewish community, we could go on and on. Black men have less that responsibility because they are quote unquote afraid of like they say, of commitment. Now, when it comes to the aspect of the Umar Johnson supposedly, I think he is married. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. I think he's a polygamist. I think he have two women.
No,
Huh?
he's never been married. He's never been married. He's not a
But I
polygamist.
think he's dating two black women, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's dating or married. Though I say I don't know. I could be wrong. But I think last time they say he was dating two black women or married to two. Who knows? But that's the thing. They're not pushing for that. And everybody know to build black wealth, especially you have to be married, because when you have two, you already know two form of income together that brings in wealth. But that's not the case when it comes to black men. Black men are afraid of that next step or that next opportunity, and that's a lot of people are. Harris Tribe said the same thing. He's not married, so that's the thing. That's the same thing. So you want to build the community. You want to help the community out. Okay, you need to say, okay, black man, you need to take it up a next level. You need to start getting married, or at least stay in a stable relationship, but not you having all these multiple women that you know at the end of the day you cannot even manage. Now, when it comes to the real pill content, this is the thing. The real pill content is doing a lot of harm than good, because a lot of men are feeding into these content and say, okay, it's not my fault. It's not my responsibility. It's the woman's responsibility. It's the woman's fault. And guess what's happening? Look at the community around you. Things are not getting better. It's getting 10 times worse. But it's just me looking from the outside looking in. Go ahead, Hakeem.
No, definitely. Ask them, are they sleeping with different women every month, and but want them to find a wife? So I want to attack this from three different points, because Ish made a point that is real good, and I want to comment on that. Dr. Umar Johnson said that black men should be held accountable because women have poor choices. I want y'all to take that and unpack that. We cannot control other men. We can't tell what other men have done. We can only control ourselves. The problem is we move like individuals and not as a collective. And we have splinter groups. A lot of us are over here, a lot of us are over there. Secondly is this. Barry White, you are right. You do not have to be married to handle your business. But a woman loses if she's not married. She doesn't get access to none of his assets or his resources. And we know statistically has proven healthy kids are breed and born in marriages. Now, another thing I want to fall into this point and say as this. Dr. Umar is right about a lot of things, but it seems very disingenuous when you can only blame one group and you can't blame the other. How can black men be responsible for 90% of our problems? 90%. There's like we the fault as all. Nobody talks about other problems that are in other cultures. I bring other cultures along because they're here and do what most other people do. The Indians, the Chinese who are very masculine and they're very pro-patriarchy. They run their household to a T. There's no such thing as you going above a Chinese man in this house. He makes the last decision on whatever. And submissiveness is a requirement. Now, when we're talking about a selection of black men in our community, Ish mentioned this. Go into a good guy's DM and see if he's ever been DM from the last three people. Y'all go ahead.
Superman said also, according to the CDC, black men that get the new girlfriend, wife, abandon their older children.
That's not true.
That's not true.
That's not true.
You got to send that to me. That's not true.
We have to see that verbatim.
Verbatim, yeah.
We have to see that verbatim.
Yeah, and the thing, and I must go back to the. Let's just say that there might be some good black men looking to get married, or who wants to find a wife, or who wants to be in a long-term relationship. In the dating pool, you know, what is, like I said, if they trying to get the girl that, you know, that they have, let's say the guy has the standard of a black woman that he wants. Well, you go into the dating pool and you see that the girl, the women that you're trying to look for, they're not at the quality as you seem they are. or they're not so submissive that you see they think you are. Because I'm gonna say you this: being in Pontiac, Michigan, if they was feminine as my grandmother or my mother, their femininity is, I don't want them. My grandma set the standards of how I want my wife or my girlfriend to be, and that's how my wife is right now. And some of these men who been raised in a single mother, who has has a great mother, who shows them love, femininity, respect, they try to look at the same quality traits as their mother can. But when you go outside and they look and they don't see those similar traits, they get frustrated. They don't want to be with that. And some of these men, they might not get some of these good men, they just look like, hey, if this is like this in this small city, it might not look like this in America. If that's the case, I'm just gonna move out of a different company, see if I can find something else. Because one of my boys are doing that right now. He's living in the hood. He's trying to find quality, but he can't find it. So he's thinking, he said, y'all petty. So he's looking at
motivation vision.
Yeah. So he's looking like, hey, if it's like this in America, I might just move out, and I'm looking at other women who has a culture that's been passed on generation to generation of a, hey, we're raised to be wives, we're raised to to be cook and clean for our men if it needs to be, put in the work that needs to be, and also show support to the black man, because I just feels like it's always a back and forth, black men not doing this, black women not doing this. And the thing is, it's like we should be talking a little bit more about how to encourage each other, what are the steps to get better, instead of keep pointing fingers, because it looks like in our black community it's always pointing fingers. It's like we're not trying to find a solution. And we're not trying to figure out to build that solution as well, especially in our black community. Go ahead, fellas.
It's posed a question. One of the questions she asked is that what makes you better? What make you a better choice? Degrees and status? That's the question she asked. And she wants us to answer that question. What make us a better choice? Degrees and status? Yes. Degrees and status, to me, yes. For me, yes. I said for me, yes. I think degrees and status does make you a better choice. Huh?
No, I'm gonna answer right after you.
Yeah, I think degrees and status does make you a better choice, because we live in a capitalist society, and the capitalist society, stuff like that does matter. And that's the issue I think black men fail to understand. We don't try to strive for degrees, and we don't try to strive for status. Now, there is elite black man who does do those things, and you see the result. They are wealthy. They are building things within the community. But then you have other group of men say, oh, I don't need no degrees. I don't need no status. And guess what? They're calling them bums. So that's why I say I think those should be highly important for black men, at least to try to strive at least one of them. If you can't get the degrees, try to focus on the status, because at the end of the day, that's going to bring more generational wealth. And now that give you a better opportunity for you and your family, because people fail to understand as the currency begins to change, things are going to continue to become higher and higher. If black men and black women don't understand the part that we need each other, we're going to stay where we at, and we're going to be at the bottom toe. Go ahead.
So for me, I'm going to say this and give you context. Degrees, status, and how you look does not determine that you're a good person. Does not determine that you're a wife. Does not determine that you can raise kids. Does not determine that you have discernment. For me, the character of a woman is what is important to me. All that other stuff we can work on. If I'm supposed to be a leader and a builder, I'm going to build my woman up to what she's going to be. But I need to know that you're a good person automatically. If you're not family oriented, you can't be good around people, or you're not even good with kids, or you don't even want kids. Why should I even consider you as a mate? You can make $250,000 but still be a nasty person, but still have an ugly soul. I need a good human being, somebody who understands her position, somebody who's not going to think they're better than people. we're so focused as a society, and it's nobody's fault. This is just what society has brought, that we need to have money, status to validate who we are as people. The Hispanics don't need that. They are Salvadorians.
Bull. That's bullshit.
No. Listen. Rona, you should know. Listen, you live on a block full of them. You from
and the neighbor right next to me owns a couple of property within the neighborhood.
But is that his main focus?
Bullshit. Go ahead. I'm just saying for me. Focus? Huh? Yeah. He owned a couple of houses. Even Kendall would tell you he owned a couple of houses within the neighborhood. And he got his family from overseas and have them living in those homes.
No, but I get
because he has the status, he has the money.
But is that a conversation that he's having with people? It said, hey, I'm not going to deal with nobody who don't own 7 houses like me.
I don't know. I don't really conversate like that, but he's my next door neighbor. He's really next door.
But that's family to you. But I don't think he's going off and telling people, for you to hang with me, you need to have 7 houses. For you to hang with me, you need to have a JD, a master's, or to become a lawyer. Go ahead.
Well, that's the society we live in today. People, especially there's elite blacks, won't have you sit right next to them when you don't have a form of a degree or a form of status. Prime example, Umar Johnson won't probably come on this podcast because we don't have a certain quote unquote visibility. Because that's what they're looking for. Because that's the society we live in today. I'm saying it's not to knock us. I'm just speaking facts here. He will go on a Breakfast Club because you know why? Breakfast Club have the status and they got the visibility and also they have the wealth.
Oh, no, I get that. I'll share something with y'all. I'm very transparent. I've never known men to ask or look for a woman to have a high status because that's never important to me. She said, hold on, before I don't have time to build nobody up. I did that enough. Either you got it or you don't. And you want to know something? I don't blame Sherry, but she's the thing. She was never opposed to it. She's at a level in her life she doesn't. But I'm going to tell you what I have done. I've been around people with money. I've been around people with no money. The thing that is important to me, coming from where I come from, and the poverty that I've been able to witness in this, I need somebody to be a good person. I was in a long-term relationship with somebody who didn't even have a high school diploma. I never judged her for that. The person was so sweet and nice and had a good personality that had set a tone for that. Most men don't judge those type of things. The most we might be looking for is something that's visual pleasing to the eye. But if you are a woman in your own right, everything else can be added on later.
But Hakeem, you fail to understand. You could be a good person, but that doesn't pay the bills. That's what's happening in the black community. We are good people. They said black people, most of the time, they'll give you the shirt off their back. But that's not paying. It's not helping us in the community. Our homes are being taken. We're not growing. We're not doing anything productive. That's what I'm saying. It's not about being a good person. Yes, good person. I got you. But at the end of the day, to me, our prime focus and our prime objective is to get this bag. I get the point, but it's us to get this bag. And that's the only way we're gonna build a community. Go ahead, Jordan. I want to know your take.
What Brian trying to say is, like I said, what I'm here. Brian trying to say is, it's like I said, we're good people, but we're not builders. Meaning, it's like I said, there might be a lot of black men who have good personalities, but they're not builders. As meaning they're trying to get the bag or trying to level up, and what they need to be doing. So for me, it's like, I'm first of all, I'm gonna go with the character first. Consider your character, because if you can find somebody that has good character, man or woman, you can build on something. But the thing is like I said, and the problem with our black men is, like I said, we can be good people, but we don't have the necessary skills to become builders. Meaning is really getting a degree, which I understand some black men don't get other degrees. If you want to get your degrees, if you're a young black man, go to the military or find a trade, or if you got good credit, gets, if try to get a couple jobs, build your credit up, and start a small businesses. And I really feel like for that, to order to really if we could push that more to black men, if getting a trade or work 2, 3, or 4 jobs so you can have the money, build your credit up, so you can start your own businesses, especially if you're a young man. You need to learn how to do that. And I feel like majority of black men, like I say, they're nice, but they're not really, really builders. And we need to really impact our black men and say, hey, if you're gonna get married, I'm just telling y'all this for black men. If you're gonna get married, you're gonna need to have money. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna need to have money to spend. And to order to do that, you can be God. You need to learn how to build. When I was mean about build, if you don't want to go to college, find a trade. Go to the military if you're young, or get one. Or Kevin Samuel says a lot. Get 2, 3 to get 2 jobs, work 60 hours, 70 hours, 80 hours until you know how to build your wealth, build your credit up, and then if you want to start your own businesses, do that. And then once you become a builder, and your money is set, then and then you want to start having a family, whatever. Go ahead and do that. Go ahead, Hakeem.
You want to know something? I get it, but I guess maybe I'm a dreamer. You know what I mean? I guess maybe I'm a dreamer. I guess I'm still in love with being in love, and knowing that I was with somebody who was twice as I've been with people who had more money than me and very educated, but at points of time it wasn't a happy situation. But then I've been with somebody who's had less than me and made me. And Natasha made a point that I wanted to. She made a good point that she highlighted, and I also want to tackle what Sherry Bryan has said. If your husband's a go-getter, then he's likely to seek a wife to help him get it, even if it's only as a muse. She support him in a way, no matter how affluent she is, and her husband already is. Sometimes a woman, depending on your social economic status, if you are a muse, your presence is going to influence a man to go do great things. That's why we need each other. So the division is what is an issue. Now I want to come to this. There's a lot of men who's out here listening to me who did not have nothing. And there was a woman who came into their life and she did not have nothing, but they came together and she was an influence on him to go get it. Same thing for a man who has money. And I'm going to tell you something, women, regardless if you have something, a man is still helping you to build because we don't have access to your money. Since we're leaders, unless you putting money into me, my money's flowing through you. What's flowing back? Your inspiration. Now, mind you, if you want to quantify which is worth more than that, that's a whole nother conversation. But what I'm trying to say is this. As man and women, we supposed to help each other out. That's what marriage is about. That's what the union is about. This whole division stuff that we're talking about, who is better than this? I've known people who have been homeless, who have worked their way up together as a couple to be something beautiful. I've known men who have taken women out of precarious situations, did not judge them, and took them to a whole nother level. I've known women who've accepted convicted felons straight off the street who could not get a job with nowhere, believed in them, gave them money, finances, even had their fathers invested in them. And that, now don't get me wrong, a lot of our queens have had a bunch of negative things happen. And the only thing we see is negative things as far as, oh, I helped him get him where he done got up and left. Or he done did this and this. Those are very few individual examples. That's not the collective. You know what I'm trying to say? We can't focus on that. You know what I mean? If you have to judge a person's character in the beginning. It's a lot of unhappy, wealthy people. It's a lot of ungrateful, educated people I would not spend $1 to be with. Go ahead, brothers.
No, you made a good point. And Sherry Bryan said she fly her man out. I'm a giver. There's women like that. They can fly them in. Now I'm saying there is women like that.
Yeah.
Outside you didn't even see that. But there are women like that. And I will say I'm not talking about those type of women. What I'm talking about is the man, because a lot of us men will say, okay, we will get a woman like a Sherry Bryan, Motivating Vision, Ish, and a Sugar Bomb, and Natasha Vision, and then we don't know how to take care of them, or we don't know how to handle them because we ourselves don't know how to level up, and we quote unquote depend on the woman. As a man, you're supposed to be able to depend on yourself, and the woman's supposed to depend on you, and y'all both supposed to build together. But that's not the case. What's going on within the black community? The black community is like, you see, everybody's divided. We like, okay, is the man against the woman? Is the woman's fault? Is the man's fault? Who should we blame? What's going on within the community? That's the thing we're facing. Go ahead, Jordan.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I'm telling you, these men, it's like this man right there. I'm telling to the men, especially you young man, 20s, 30s. You have to, like I said, if you want to get a woman, you have to have a plan, and you got to be consistent with that plan. Purely consistent. If a woman can see you have that plan and you've been consistent with it, it might be some 1-2 steps you might fall back on, but long as you be on track with it, and that woman sees you consistent and sees that potential, and she sees that that you've taken that stride, and she sees that you're leveling up little by little, she's gonna stay. I'm telling you, she's gonna stay. But like I said, you need to have that plan, a long-term plan, because men, we are long-term planners. Women, they let the plan a little short-term planning. Short-term planning. And there's some women that do long-term, but sometimes when they think of short-term planning. But as men, you got to have a plan, and you got to be consistent with that plan. You cannot fall off, because if you fall off, she's gonna see that. She gonna see it, and then when she sees it, and that's where the disrespect comes. So I'm telling y'all, if you're a man, make sure you have a plan, a long-term plan. You have that long-term plan, and she see consistency, she's gonna stay with you 100%. Go ahead, fellas.
I want to comment to Sugar Bum. Sugar Bum, I am naive and gullible. I'm a Pokemon nigga.
I think agrees.
I am naive. Listen, I am naive and gullible. I'm coming from the perspective, and shout outs to Ish. Ish say this. I was the quintessential nice guy. I'm the guy.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I was a nice guy too.
Nothing wrong with that. Listen, I'm such a giver that I had to remove myself from the dating market, because being so forthcoming and being so giving, people take advantage of that. I don't know when somebody's gonna do me dirty. So I used to take people off face value. Oh, I'm paying for dates. Oh, if we're dating and you have an issue, oh, what can I do to help? You see what I'm saying? And listen, to the point where it was detrimental to my pocket, I say maybe I need to not date anymore, because I can't find nobody who can enjoy this. And we have a lot of guys who are like this. A lot of guys are so in love with being in love that they have to remove themselves from the dating market. You know what I mean? I don't know. A lot of us don't know what it feels like to be with a woman who gives. You know what I mean? And we're talking about the good guys, not the Pookie and Ray Rays. They get it all the time. You know what I mean? And the thing about that is, Ish said something. Ish, you say some things that you hit it right on the board. I see it and I have to come back to it. Let my man's character be his currency. That should go both ways. Let a woman character be his currency. There was a quote that I heard on some podcast. I don't know if Harris Tribe Media said this. I don't know if it was him. I heard this somewhere. A woman's loyalty, or was it Sherry Bryan? Somebody said this. A woman's loyalty is tested when a man has nothing, and a man's loyalty is tested when he has a lot. I want you to take that and engulf that.
Yeah, but don't post Sugar Bomb. She called me a thought.
We'll keep, man.
Not 3 or 4.
Listen,
Damn.
listen. I
You said 3 or 4.
I had to skip over that. That's why I
Yeah, skip over that. Don't call it.
I had to skip
No, I'm
over that.
laughing. I said, don't call. Don't I
Yeah.
like that.
He says consistency and clear communication between hubby and wife about the plan will reduce her anxiety and challenges in general. That has to be on a consistent basis.
Yes.
Communication, outline of the plan. I think that is very simple that a man should be able to do that. But you want to know something, Natasha? I'm gonna be very honest with you. Here in the Western world and here in America, a lot of men just hate when women ask us questions, which is I think is very wrong. We've been raised that you shouldn't question us, which is a negative side that we need to correct. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of men hate when somebody say, "Damn, dog, why you asking me that? Just let me do me." No, you can't do that. Just like you want a woman to explain her whereabouts, where she's been, we should be able to lay out a plan where she say clear communication. Hey, I'm gonna go to school. I'm gonna go get my bachelor's. I'm gonna go get my MBA. Are you gonna lock in with me? Don't worry. Once I'm done, clear plan. Once I'm done, I want you to stop working. I'm gonna take all the bills, and I want you to go back to school so you can get what you want. Matter of fact, I'm not telling you not to work, but if I make enough money, can you stay here with the kids and you could do your online boutique thing that you've been dreaming about?
You're right about that, King. And the thing is, and like I said, it might be some setbacks too, but as long as your guys find a way to make sure you have that communication, say, hey, this month I might not do, this week I might not be doing so well, or this month I might not be doing so well. Make sure you have that communication. You good, and make sure you have that communication. And sometimes sometimes men and women, they like to hold in, like when they move into a new month. It happens to me sometimes, or it might happen to my wife sometimes. That might be some months like, yo, I might be a little bit short on this or some money like that. And sometimes you might hold it in and be like, yo, what's going on and everything. And I might blurb it out so late, or my wife might like bubble it out late. Hey, I didn't have any money. But the thing is, it's like if y'all in a long stable relationship and marriages, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to say, hey, I might not have it this week or this month, because because stuff, like say, anything can go by. Anything can trouble. Anything. You might break your leg and you gotta be in the hospital for a little bit. Family emergency. Sometimes they gotta take you out to work, or sometimes a lot of stuff happens every single day. As long as you guys communicate and make sure you prepare yourself, everything will be okay. I just want to tell you guys that.
Shout outs to Jabari.
Yeah, shout out to Jabari.
Listen, Jabari's not for the streets. He's the ideal husband that I'm trying to model by. And Jordan. I can't forget my brother. They're the ideal husband. Their shoes are big to fill. That's why I'm trying to grow a little bit taller to fill them. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna lie. What did Jesus preach? What was mostly his messages in the streets? So I'm supposed to be in the streets. That's why that's what I'm supposed to be. No, but at the end of the day, it's true. It's true. Now I know at the end of the day, the topic is have black man has given up on Umar Johnson. Yes, because a lot of them think he's full of shit. That's why they think he's full of shit and they think he's just a good talking man. I think he's a very well educated. She gonna need to stop, man. I'm about to block her. She very but I think he's a very educated man. But I think black men are just pretty much getting tired of him because they don't know what his true objective is. Because at one point he's saying something about the women, and then the next point he's saying something about the men. So what he's trying to do. So that's why some people, he's just very hard person to figure out. Hakeem loves him. He's a real, Umar. Yeah. So
listen. I donated to the school. I'm still planning on going to Delaware to become to Delaware.
Yeah.
You want to know why? Because the thing is, I love just the idea, but there's a lot of things I have an issue with him with, and I'm not gonna lie about that.
Hey, I'm still a big fan of Umar. Like I said, he taught me a lot of stuff, a lot of educational things. He still did. I'm still grateful to this day. But I just feel like there's certain lanes he need to stay on. When it comes to relationships, I don't think he need to be on that lane. Somebody else need to talk about it, not him.
I want to comment on something, and I say that we're gonna. And you mentioned this, Jordan, earlier. A lot of these podcasts, and Ronnie, you always say this too. Both of y'all say this, and I want to just bring this to the light. I want everybody who's listening to me to, because I just want to reiterate, we have a lot of division right now amongst us. A lot of people don't want us to get together. A lot of people want to make men so wrong and women so wrong, and they don't want us to come together. And I want to say something. As soon as we get over this division and start getting people together, we can clearly solve a lot of our issues. I don't want to shame single black fathers, just like I don't want to shame single black mothers. There's going to be a certain group of men that's going to be there for women with kids. There's going to be a certain group of men that's going to be there for other women. And other cultures do this. I think that we need to get rid of the negative talking points about us and start talking about the positiveness of what people can bring to the table. Hey, this is a good woman. She's intelligent. She's nice. I want to talk to her. We all have flaws, every single one of us. Some flaws are bigger than others, but does that mean that's going to discount you from the dating pool? Does that mean that, oh, we're going to get rid of this group of people? Let's get rid of all of that. And the point of the fact is, there's going to be more and more of these dating conversations on blaming women for a lot of things where it's a collective situation. And if we can start saying, okay, yeah, she got 2-3 kids. Okay, so what? Yes, she dated a Pookie and Ray Ray. She wants to be married now. Who wants to be with her? If Johnson say he doesn't want to be with her, that's his prerogative. But maybe Twan might want to date her. Twan got 2-3 kids. Twan has no kids and probably doesn't want kids, but say, I don't mind being with her. Okay, Twan, take her. Because you want to know why? Everybody needs a husband and everybody needs a wife. Go ahead.
Oh, Sherry Bryan, thank you for that comment. I appreciate you for saying that. Thank you.
Jordan got a fan. That's what I'm talking about. That's all that matters, man. I count Hakeem breaking down very, very lovely. Sugar Bun is acting up. Sugar Bun is
she turned her way up. Turn it up.
She said married man off for the streets, man. She's something else, man. I respect her so much, man. She's funny. But at the end of the day, I think we do have to come together, but like I say, I think Hakeem, it's already been planned that they don't want the black man and black woman to come together. They don't want that to happen. Like it did in the 60s.
No,
them days are over.
There's as many single white moms as it is black women, but
that is a fact.
Nobody's talking negative. They're getting married.
Yep.
They're getting married by the numbers. Listen, rich guys are taking them. If I'm not mistaken, Joe Rogan, I thought the girl he was married to had a kid prior before meeting them. A lot of the superstars married them. So I'm just saying, but I want to go back to what Jordan said earlier. If a man has a preference, let's not blame him for that. There's other men who's willing to be with you, but they don't want us to be together. They want to say, I don't like her because she has 5 baby daddies. A lot of us slang 9 different women, and the only difference is we put on the condom. But it's the division. Let's stop blaming black men and black women. Let's start talking about, hey, let's get a dating show. Let's get a dating show for people who really wants to get married. The end goal is marriage. We could stop diseases. We could stop domestic violence, understanding people's nature. We could stop financial strife. If you don't want to be with somebody who works at McDonald's, I'm not going to be mad at her. If she doesn't want to be with somebody that doesn't make 50,000, no, baby. Let's find you somebody who does that. I'm not going to discredit you for your preference.
Facts. Man, that's a good way to, pretty much, that is a good way to end the show. Oh, yeah, they talking about bringing Michael Jackson to, forget it. You know, they trying to pull Michael Jackson back in court. He's already, yeah, I saw that too. That was like,
yeah, he been gone for 10 years, yo. Come on now.
Come on, man.
Like, people are,
Listen, they still want his money because Michael Jackson is still worth millions of dollars every year.
I already know because of the Beatles. They still want that. They want that Beatle. They want that real bad, but too late. It's for him forever. So even when you go, he still owns it. No, but at the end of the day, I think, of course, I want to know you guys' final thoughts, but I think Umar, I think he need to be clear on what his objectives are and to let the people know, because at the end of the day, besides the mistaken, a lot of men do support Umar Johnson. So I don't think he want to lose the male audience because a lot of them do. And I know a guy that actually met him in real life. So that's my take on it. I think Omar just need to evaluate his true objective is, are you really for the black man? Or are you really against the black man? That's my take.
I'll say to Dr. For Dr. Umar, you like I said, a lot of men is losing faith in you, but you need to bring them back, because if you want to have black men as to do better and bring leaders, you're gonna need them to support you, because you won't have the black men to support you. You just like I say, you just look like you just gonna pander to the black woman, and the black man are gonna do their own thing. So if you want black men to keep supporting you, Umar, like I said, I still do. I still respect you and everything. You need to do some, open up your school and do what you need to do, but also stay in certain lanes that you're good at. But in relationships, I don't really think you're good in that lane. That's my take on it.
Oh, I already said my take. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's remove division and bring back love.
Oh, that's your take, Hakeem?
Oh yeah. I was on a rant for an hour, so.
Yeah, but shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. You already know Ish, Sherry Bryan. I was about to say Umar. I was like, Umar not even in the chat. Motivating Vision, Sugar Bum, Jabari, Kendall, Just Hear Me Out, Heroes Tribe Media Group, of course, Barry White. Shout out to you, sweetheart. And the list goes on and on and on. I'm trying to make sure we got everybody. Oh, of course, Natasha Visson. Shout out to you for joining us today. Like always, you guys are so amazing. Shout out to that Twitch guy that always watches us. But what? Yeah, they watch us, but they never respond. And I'm trying to get to know their name. They never respond. But shout out to you guys, and also shout out to you guys that's gonna watch us in the playback. Guys, please make sure on your way out, make sure you hit that like button, and also make sure you hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit that notification bell on the right hand side. Remember, we do go live each and every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 o'clock Eastern time. Like always, thank you for tuning in to KI Culture Radio, and remember, go on the KI Culture Radio community tab. In the community tab, there's a KI Culture Radio T-shirt. Prince Hakeem new book, Black Love, man. Come and support the black author, man. That man put in the work. Man, he put in the work. Thank you for tuning in together.
Hey. Motivation Vision. We're working on that right now. Don't worry. We're working on that motivation.
See, I'm walking to end the show. Thank you for tuning in to Culture Radio.
Oh, I love this
We
show.
over right now. No, we leaving Motivated Vision. Peace. We out.
Peace.